Hey vinyl community, how's everybody doing? Good to see you today. Well, one of my viewers from time to time, people send stuff in and want to hear about different topics, and John Alello sent me an idea that I thought was kind of a good idea, and we're going to talk today about Wings and his career, Paul McCartney and Wings. So we're going to just do that. I figured instead of shooting through all the albums, this would be a lot more fun to do this. I've got a lot of stuff, so sit back and here we go. I'm going to talk about Paul McCartney. This is actually pretty cool. This is a promo of Wings. So this is from the Paul McCartney Wings collection. And this is really pretty cool. Pretty rare, actually. This is the albums that Paul McCartney did during the span of being in Wings. Kind of his wingspan. Okay, pun number one. As you can see, the albums here, stuff like that. But this is a promotional flyer for Paul McCartney. All right, first up, I'm going to show Paul McCartney on his concert tour. He was incredible. He's just off of the whole time of being with the Beatles. And I'm really surprised that Paul jumps in and starts touring at this point. It's really interesting that he does this. He basically formed a band. And it was at the beginning of Wildlife. And he started a band called Paul McCartney and Wings. Great band, great lineup of people, tour program. And there was a lot of stuff out there on Wings. So I'm going to show as much as I can. This is a book on Paul McCartney. Kind of give you an idea of some stuff. If you're looking for some collectibles or you want to start collecting different things. Let's see here, I could show you some things. Maybe start to look for some different stuff like this, I guess. But this is kind of cool, Paul McCartney. Wings was a terrific band. He really kind of felt like Paul McCartney found his niche with Wings. Paul's got a great band now, being 2017, if you're watching this. I think he's got a good band now, but I think he's just kind of missing that edge that he had when he had Wings. When he had Wings, Jimmy McCulloch, Denny Lane, Joe English, he had some fantastic people in all of this. Denny Lane, oh my gosh, right out of the Moody Blues. What a fantastic singer. What a fantastic writer Denny Lane was. So Wings really, I think, had a trail here. Let me show you a picture of Denny Lane. Did I not show you that? That's a good picture of Denny. There's just a lot of stuff. This is a great book. Lots and lots of stuff. Joe English. I'm sorry, I lost some of my pages, so I won't go through a lot of this. I lost some of them here. I was kind of spending more time doing that. Great picture. So yeah, so Paul McCartney during this time period, he put out a lot of albums, a lot of really good albums. And I think a lot of Wings albums, really, this is another Paul McCartney promotional Wings. That's really cool. That's a neat Wings logo. I think Paul put out a lot of great albums and really got lost during that time. I think a lot of the albums got lost and all that kind of stuff, and things got, the albums kind of got pushed over as just regular Paul McCartney albums. So we're talking about Paul McCartney and his world tour. A lot smaller than you thought, isn't it? Okay, we're going around this way. World tour. There we go, that's better. I know the world looks a lot bigger than you thought, huh? A friend of mine took this photo, gave this to me back in the years. Well, this is Paul. My parents wouldn't let me go see Paul McCartney in '76. At that time, I was a teenager and too young to go to the McCartney concerts, a teenager and all that. My parents just figured no. And plus, the town I was living in, he didn't come to that city, so I would have had to travel out of town. and that was a big no-no, that's for sure. So that wouldn't have been good either. But oh well, I made up for it in showing other stuff, getting other stuff. This is a Paul McCartney when he did Wingspan. This is a school. This is a promotional, like a school folder, and this is a promo piece, which is the folder. Kind of cool. This next up is very, very rare. This is a Paul McCartney tote bag, plastic bag, tote bag, like I said. Very rare, very hard to come by. In excellent, excellent shape. Another Paul McCartney book. So much was said about all the albums with Paul McCartney. It's just awful hard to pick a favorite. One of my favorite songs actually is Listen to What the Band Said, and Uncle Albert, Another Day. All the band, see, just to show, here's another Paul McCartney concert thing. I just kept that. I know I'm just rattling off some names, but there's Wings again. Getting it. Just a lot of good Wings stuff. I'm just showing you just some fun stuff that I've accumulated. But Paul McCartney really had a terrific concert. He and Linda, I think Linda by his side was a big, big deal at that time. Back up a little bit. I think the loss of Linda kind of changed things a lot, because after Linda passed away, they quit doing the Paul McCartney magazine too. There was a Club Sandwich was the name of the Paul McCartney magazine, and I belonged to that. Club Sandwich was huge. It was a real big deal. But after Linda, Paul stopped the magazine. So in the early days of Wings, Paul and Linda were the magazine people who did all the magazine. Paul wrote the articles and Linda did the photography for it. So that's kind of cool. And at this time during Wings, Paul was a family man, big time, raising the kids and doing all of that with the family. So as we kind of expand into Paul McCartney and Wings, there's just so much that can be said about Paul McCartney and Wings that even videos came out. This is one of the videos I've got. This is a good one. Really enjoy that one a lot. That's a great DVD. And this is just a bunch of video stuff of Paul McCartney as well. This is very good. Really, really good. That's a great one. Paul McCartney put out, like I said, a lot of terrific albums during this time. A lot of fantastic music that definitely was so overlooked. This was the next one. This came out legit-wise. This is a real one. If you want to catch up more on Paul McCartney, I definitely recommend Wingspan. It's good. It's not one of my favorite. I remember being in the fan club and Paul sending out a newsletter saying if anybody's got any rare Wings stuff to contact him to put it in that video. And it's good. It's not great. I don't know. You can get it if you want. I never was really sold on it. So, I mean, I never, like Rock Show. I saw Rock Show in the theaters. I remember when Rock Show came out, and it was a double feature. So you got, I had the promotional poster. I've got this poster, which I sold. It was in the movie theater itself, and it was an enormous, enormous poster. This was. But this was back in '76, so this is the time when Paul McCartney was touring America. And I counted, and I know I'm off, but I counted at least 65 concerts that Paul McCartney did just from '75 to '76. And I know there's probably more, but that was just kind of ones that I just caught off my head, top of my head. Another video, this is Paul McCartney, Wings Over America, when he did that video. This is the TV version, which is a little bit different than the one when he came out with the box set. So that's the original one from TV. And then this big book which is Wings. Another great book. So if you're looking for a really good book on Paul, this is terrific. I highly recommend this book of Paul McCartney. Jimmy McCulloch, sad to say, has passed away. I'm not sure what Danny Lane's up to now. Maybe a lot of you might know better than me what Danny Lane's up to. Joe English has been doing concerts and stuff like that, doing music. Let's see if I can find some other good pictures. Joe English became a Christian and put out some phenomenal Christian albums. I might talk about Joe English because I met Joe English and spent a little bit of time with him backstage, talking about his time with doing the Christian albums and his time with Paul McCartney. So I chatted with him for a little bit. It was a lot of fun. Sorry to be so distraught with trying to find pictures for you. That's a good one too. But this is a good book. If you're looking for a good one, this is a great book, Paul McCartney and Wingspan. Actually, I think the book is better than the DVD. Like I said, my parents wouldn't let me go to the Wings concert, but this is the 76 tour program that a friend of mine went to go see him. And so this is the tour program that he picked up for me. And I'm just in time for the air handler. So welcome back to the air handler, everybody. This is great. So Wingspan is great. Paul McCartney during the albums. I don't think you can pick a bad album out of Wings. Paul was always upset when he was on tour and when he was putting out Wings albums that he always felt as if it wasn't as good as Beatles stuff. I don't know. There were some incredible Wings albums that were really, really hot. Really hot albums. Do you have a favorite Wings album? Let me put that out to you. Down below, text me and let me know what your favorite Wings album, or maybe you saw Paul McCartney in concert in 76 or 75. That would be really cool. Let me know about your Paul McCartney and Wings experience if you did. There's an advertisement. If you did, let me know. That'd be great. And then the whole entire thing for Wings came to a crash. Paul McCartney really, really messed up. This is one of the Paul McCartney club sandwiches, and as you can see, it still says Wings. But Paul really messed up. Did I say he messed up? He really messed up. Let me show you in this magazine. What happened to kill the Wings career. Paul McCartney killed his career basically by this. Japanese tour, Paul McCartney canceled. Yeah, so this is all about the Japanese tour being canceled. That's kind of a neat picture out of the club sandwich. And this is, I remember getting the article. This is out of my own private collection of memorabilia stuff that I've kept. That's Paul McCartney being busted in Japan. And that killed Wings. Basically did. It's a good Wings book. Yeah, it basically killed Wings from that point. So that's why Wings kind of disbanded. That's why Wings kind of ended up. But this is a book all about Paul McCartney and Wings during the 76 tour. Really good book. I recommend this as well if you're looking for a great Paul McCartney book. No, I'm sitting here spinning through it. It's been years since I've looked through this. But there are no colored pictures in this. This is a little bit harder to find now, but it's still a good book. So that's basically Paul McCartney and Wings on his concert, of doing all of his concert tours, all of his Wings albums. I've got a lot more memorabilia of Paul McCartney and Wings, but wait, we've got more. At this time, Paul McCartney did the album Rock for Campuchia, which is a great album that Paul did live. Really a good album. I highly recommend picking this up on vinyl, which has got so many different artists. It's a great rockin' album. Shows all the different people. I don't know if you can get that in, but it's got a lot of people. Ironically, Elvis Costello's in here, who Paul ended up doing stuff with the Flowers in the Dirt. But like I said, this is a good album. If you can't find it on vinyl, it's a little tricky to find on vinyl. It's out there, but on CD, it's terrific. So if you need that, find that on CD. And then now for my other Wings collector fans, this is a boot of Paul McCartney of the same album that I just showed. But the neat part about this is a 2-album set of Wings. And the 2 albums is nothing but Paul McCartney. As the one I just showed you was Paul McCartney and a lot of other people, but this is just Paul McCartney. It's a 2-album set. Terrific album. Really a good one. So that's one to look for. A little tricky to find, but it's out there, and they've made CDs of it. So, alright. Well, that's just a little bit of my tour through Wings. I know it was kind of fast. I had a lot to say, but pick up an album out of your collection, put it on your turntable, and listen to Wings today or tonight. Give it a spin. Enjoy listening to it. Have fun and listen to that, and it's great albums. All of them are terrific. They really are. So subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you thought of Wings. Like I said earlier, do you have a favorite Wings album? And like I said, he was all over the world. Paul McCartney. All right, John. I hope that did it for you for Wings. Take care, vinyl community. I'm out of here.